You got the star here to my left, so that's what we need.
Center star right there.
All right, well, this is episode 1 of the Aspendale podcast. We are joined with Joe, who is our board president, along with Jim, who is our camp director. How you guys doing today?
I'm doing good.
Doing great.
It's a beautiful day.
Beautiful day.
Can't beat this weather.
Yeah. Lovely weather. It was kind of sprinkling earlier, and I was kind of scared because I was like, oh no, I really wanted it to do it outside. When it was sprinkling, I'm like, it's gonna continue
I
sprinkling.
thought it was gonna be like yesterday and just keep going, but it was just a nice sprinkle and done.
Yeah, nice and done. Since you guys are part of Aspendale, but not many people who might be watching or listening would know a little bit of you guys. So, how did you come to know Christ, one, and how did you come to be part of Aspendale?
So I made a decision as a young boy to follow Christ. I grew up in a Christian home. My dad was a pastor missionary on the border, worked both sides in the lower valley of El Paso and in Mexico in the state of Chihuahua. And we lived there for several years. Made the decision to follow Christ, went off to school in Tennessee, college, retired from a government job, came back and was introduced to Aspendale through First Baptist Clint. The pastor there invited me to come up with the youth to work at the camp here, and that was my first introduction to Aspendale. Shortly after that, I fell in love with the camp. He asked if I wanted to be on the board, so I was on the board for almost 3 years, and then the position of director came open, and some of the pastors approached me and asked me if I'd be interested in working up here. And I had a good job. I was happy. I was content, but I felt like this is something that would be beneficial and rewarding. Always wanted to work in a camp. Always loved camp ministry. Growing up around camp ministry, so I took that job in May of 2019, and been here ever since.
Ever since. And Joe, how did you?
Now.
Yeah. And Joe, and yeah,
so
same question. How did you come to meet Christ? And how did you come to be the president of the board?
So I accepted Christ when I was about 6 years old. I always like to joke that a puppet led me to the Lord because I accepted the Lord at a puppet show. And obviously I've had ups and downs in my life. Times when I wasn't following the Lord so well, and times when I have been. Through college, it was really my first year in college where I really felt the Lord leading me into ministry, and that's when I just kind of randomly, according to me and my perspective, got a chance to go to China as a short-term missionary. I went for 8 weeks, and I did that the next year as well. I think that was 99 and 2000, right in there. And the first time I was in China, I felt the Lord leading me to be a missionary, so that was kind of my goal. I went to seminary at Mid-America Baptist Theological Seminary in Memphis, Tennessee, and I got my master's degree in missiology, which is study of missions. It's actually Master of Divinity in missiology, and I went overseas for 8 years. First year was to learn Spanish in Costa Rica, and then 7 years in Argentina. And then the Lord, after that 8 years, led us back here to FBLasCruses, like totally a surprise for us. We were not expecting that at all. And that's where I met my pastor. He brought me on staff as the campus pastor, and I've been on staff with him for 9.5 years now. And he's been there about 10.5 years, I think, right around there. And gosh, I want to say that I came to this camp when I was either a kid or maybe in college, but I know I've been here before, but I don't have any like specific memories of anything that I can like really pull from. So I knew about Aspendale, and I think the board had invited our pastor just to come and kind of listen to where they were as a board, where the camp was, how they were doing and things like that, and just to kind of talk and give advice and direction and things like that. And next thing I know, they were voting on me to be on the board. And then next thing I know, after that, they were
Mhm.
voting on me to be the president, which was a surprise to me.
They slipped that
Um,
in on you, didn't they?
yeah, they sure did. That's what they do. And now, right now, I feel like I'm just kind of getting my feet wet and trying to understand that role the best that I can,
Mhm.
so that I can help Jim and everything else that happens at the camp and support you guys, even though I'm not able to be here all the time.
Yeah.
So.
So, as the board president and as the director of the camp, obviously we're here in Mission Park, and I love the sign, by the way. It looks amazing
It's
here.
brand new. I didn't.
Brand new.
When you
Brand new.
pointed it out to me, I hadn't seen it
Hadn't
yet.
seen it?
Yeah, it was great.
It's about
Yeah.
2
So how
weeks.
do you guys, as a board member, what is your guys' mission for the camp?
I'll let you speak to that first, and then I'll piggyback off of.
My passion, having grown up in the El Paso area, my dad uh, would, and back then, of course, that was before 911. There was a little more freedom in coming across the border. My dad would bring young adults, children, families from Juarez across the border and come up to the mountains here. And we'd put up tents, have camp, have church, stay for a week. They loved it because they got to see the mountains, experience at the time of the mountains. And so that, I guess I grew up with that kind of heart and passion of what and experience of what the mountain experience does for people of all backgrounds. And my passion then, when the Lord opened this door, was to try to provide that same opportunity on a quality basis. On Aspendale was financially in trouble, having some issues when I took over, and so we had to work through those issues over the last few years. Survived COVID. Still don't know how we did that. That was a God thing to get us through COVID and survive and pay our bills. But the idea in my heart and mind is that we have a great camp experience for children who can't afford some of the other camps in the area, but yet have the same quality experience, safe, fun, but experience God's glory up here in His creation. We have one of the prettiest camps in the mountain ranges. I've heard this from other camp directors
100%.
that we have the prettiest camp. We're not where we'd like to be with facilities, but we have the potential for that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what drives me, is to try to have at a place, an environment that kids can come to of all ages and experience God's glory, affordable, but fun and nice, and with a spiritual experience
Experience.
that you can only get, I think, in the mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Joe?
kind of unplugging from everything in the city and just being able to really feel like you're in the Lord's creation is, I mean, that's why summer camps are so great. And to have an entire camp run with Christian values and wanting the purpose of this camp to be that kids come to Christ. Really, anybody. It's not just kids camp. I'm usually here for kids camp, but I know we have adult groups that come up here that draw closer to the Lord. I had just sent up that the police group. Yeah. I know that that's their whole goal, is come up here, unplug from everything, hear from God, and get closer with Him. This week, kind of my whole thrust in preaching to the kids is, I told them, your purpose here is to know and follow Jesus, and making that a part of what camp is. It's not just a summer camp. It's a summer camp where we hope kids come to know Christ, and that adults that come here for whatever they're doing, that they come to know Christ, and if they already know Him, that they grow deeper in their relationship with Him. And it's pretty cool to even be a little part of that.
No, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So this question is more so for you, Joe, since you said that you were coming here for more so for the kids camp. What is a particular story, or what's something that you have seen God move through these kids along these few couple camps that you've been part of?
Yeah, I think I was talking with one of our guys on staff. His name's Michael. I was talking with him yesterday, and he said, "Oh, I like listening to you teach and everything." And he said it's simple, and I said, "Man, it's so simple. My job when I come and teach the kids here is to make sure that I can take the deepness of scripture and what it means to follow Jesus and who he is, and take these passages that can be pretty hard for a little second grader to
Mm-hmm.
understand, and try and get it on their level. And uh, I think the biggest thing that I've seen in our camps is we truly see kids kind of have that light bulb moment
Mm-hmm.
during some of the teaching where they're like, "Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm understanding this for the first time." And that's kind of my hope for tonight. I hope that these kids, um, I've taught two different things for the last 2 days. We're going through kind of Peter's life and what he looked like. We looked at his call, and last night we looked at how he denied Jesus, and tonight we're going to look at how Jesus recalls Peter and how he just sets the scene perfect. And what I'm hoping is that these kids just see that, you know what, I can follow God, I can even mess up, and I can still follow him after I mess up. And
Absolutely.
that's kind of the light bulb moment that I'm hoping happens tonight. But we've seen those moments over the years where these kids just like finally grasp it on their level because somebody's trying to talk to them in a way that they can understand kind of those deep concepts of scripture, but
Mm-hmm.
put it on a level that's for second to fifth graders.
Wow,
And
Yeah.
so,
that's
yeah,
great.
it's pretty cool. I mean, that's why I love this. I love getting
Mm-hmm.
to teach
Hmm.
at camp because kids really do understand and leave knowing they'll be able to leave knowing everything that we talked about this week.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, because I'm putting it simply enough. So
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah. That question is more so for Jim, since we're not that we're not involved with the campers, but because we don't really give like a sermons to them or anything like that. We let the camp we let the groups that come here and do their thing. What is a moment that you had seen here that God has done some powerful things to the camp itself?
Mm. Yeah, we could talk half a day on that. I think what I've seen God do up here, it's amazing. I mean, I grew up in a minister's home, and you would see how God would work in different ways, and hear stories of other ministries and how God has worked through, in their presence. Up here was a little bit of a different experience. It was more on taking care of physical needs, having buildings that had a roof blown off, and then miraculously the roof unravels, a metal roof, and comes back down. That's one of my favorite stories. Not having propane at all when we first opened the camp after it had been closed for a while, and called the propane delivery guy, and he dropped everything and came out and to deliver propane. He was like 2 hours out, and spent the whole day filling up tanks and helped me light the heaters. And at the end of the time, he said, "You know why I'm here?" He said, "I don't have cell service where you called me." And he said, "I knew that was of God." And he said, "I actually turned down, told a couple other camps, I cannot come out. I've got to go take care of Aspendale." So those stories I could go on all day.
Mm-hmm.
With water, not having water in the tank one night and having a group come in the next day having 5,000 gallons of water in the tank.
Mm-hmm.
Just watching God do that through the years. And then with that, yes, watching and being part of the lives that are changed, that come in, observing the worship service, the preaching, the teaching, seeing children and adults of all ages, people of all ages, making decisions here for Christ or surrendering their life. And especially when we see a staff, which two of you've been part of as well, just to see the transformation on some of the students that show up here to work. They don't know what it means to serve, to clean toilets, to wash dishes.
Yeah.
They come for the fun and the games, but by the time they leave, and we hear this from their churches, their pastors, their youth pastors, their parents, it's like, my kids, they're different when they come back from camp. We have some that say, please let my daughter or son come back because they're a different person after they've been here for a while. So that's part of that spiritual transformation. Watching staff take their Bibles and have Bible studies together, going out on solo time and with their Bibles and seeing them write notes, as they're sitting out there alone. So those kind of things, you can't put a price on that. Those are great memories from working here at Aspendale to see those kind of experiences.
No, yeah, absolutely. Every time that we have finished like a hard day, when we've done the Odyssey like 50 times, and before lunch and after lunch, and we're all tired, it's just hearing the kids having fun, hearing them laugh, hearing them enjoying and singing, and even just seeing them paying attention to the service makes it all worth it at the end. We see that they're having a good time. They're not worried about what's going back at home. They're not worried about school. They're not worried about whatever problem they're having. Even the adults sometimes, they're just so happy that they're here. There's camps that have come up here that I know the sponsors personally, and when they're back home, they're all stressed out because of work, bills, or whatever they're going out their lives, health or whatever it is. But when they come up here, it's good to see them stress-free. They're here to disconnect from the world, have a moment here with God, and just lift up all of their worries up, and then start fresh as soon as they go back home. So going back to kind of how, like you were telling me, Jim, it's how, like, we were having, how, like, your first couple of years, it was kind of rough how we were seeing, like there were certain things that we needed to be fixed, certain cabins that needed to be done. As the years went by, I've seen that it has grown more. There has been more projects being done. We have more activities being added onto the list. What is some projects that you guys have for the camp in the next year or two?
I know, there's always talk about more buildings. And I know that's happening actually like the end of this month, right? We're getting a few couples cabins.
2 more, yeah. We're working on 3 now. We've got 2 more coming.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mhm.
We were actually, I saw Jim today, and I was like, hey man, I just saw the guy was putting in the plumbing, the trench for the plumbing and
That's awesome.
electrical today. That's awesome. Coincidentally, he's the guy that came and handed you a receipt just a few minutes ago.
So I joined the board.
You're good, man.
You're on camera,
That-
but you're good.
That makes a better podcast right there.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like we're real people.
Yeah.
Now you know. Awesome that he's here and doing that.
Yes.
But really, yeah, because and I've heard Jim say this a lot. These other camps have said multiple times to him, man, if you guys knew what you had and you could run at your full potential, you're going to put all of us out of business. And
Yeah.
not that we want to put other camps out of business, but we'd like them to sweat just a little bit. I'm just kidding. No, but we do. We want to compete with them in a good way, to have the facilities that people need when they come up to the mountains and things like that. And one of the things, honestly, that I like about this camp is how rustic it is, and it's a real true camp experience. But I know those are some of the plans. I saw one of your plans was to get all the LEDs in all the buildings. I
Right.
think you've pretty much done that.
Pretty
Is it all?
much, yeah.
Yeah.
It made a huge difference in the meeting space because now we have some dimmable switches, which is huge.
Right.
Yeah.
Just I know you guys are always improving stuff, and I know you have a lot more planned, and I'm sure you can talk about that.
Yeah, right here in Mission Park, this, and the whole idea on this is to remind not only our guests but us that what we're about, that we're here to a purpose bigger than ourselves, and the fun, the games. We always try to have good food, and all those things are really, and this is what we teach our staff over the last few years. Our purpose here is to help churches be successful. We're here to support the church, do what they're called to do. And that's our mission, and to help them accomplish the discipleship, sending out leaders and pastors and missionaries. And so part of that is Mission Park. We have plans. We would love, we're talking about fundraisers, love to have a nice pavilion down here that we could have get out of the rain.
Get out of the rain from, yeah.
And have movie night, have concerts, have Bible studies at night in the park, and nothing but stars and in the woods and
Like that,
rain or snow,
yeah.
as we see now.
We
But
watch that.
yeah, we know we need office, we need classrooms. We have plans for that. We have we'd like to expand the snack bar, souvenir shop, and then a multi-purpose building where, again, in the rain, we can send 150 kids. Sometimes we do. We'll have 150 teenagers running around. They need a place to go in the rain.
Yeah.
And so we have plans and drawings for that. We're blessed to have a architect on the board who's drawing all this up for us.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
Well, thank you guys for your guys' time. It
Probably
is
get out
rainy,
of the
so
rain,
we
huh?
should probably get out of the rain. Thank you guys, and stay tuned
Thank
for
you, Chewy.
more. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Chewy.